Welcome to our 7th episode of Local Music Now with my very special guests, Gene, Dante, and the Future Starlets.
You talk a grand trash design while co-opting all things mine. I'm wearing you down uptight. I'm wrong, you're always right. I live the work, you see the stars, a diamond kiss by gaslight. It's all my fault, I'm sunshine to your shattered glass psychic vampire. You speak of your future stardom while trampling on my garden. You think you want, you know you need. It's high time you leave. High time you leave. High time you leave. Take anything you want, but you can't take me. Now you perfected the dance in which you play the victim of success and circumstance. And I'm always making you crazy. On a dime I turn a praise. You say I got nothing to change. Say things I don't do your way. You bend my ear until it bleeds. Yeah, 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 yeah. High time you leave. It's high time you leave. High time you leave. Take anything you want, but you can't take me. High time you leave. It's high time you leave. High time you leave. Take anything you want, but you can't take me. No, you can't take me. No, you can't take me. No, you can't take me. I've long since come to grips with your weak, derisive scripts. A handful of hurtful stories on repeat. In time, the truth she slips her arm round the protagonist. Both friend and lover, she saved me from defeat. You're always so delighted, obsession undivided. Revenge is cruel, but escape is warm and sweet. Your vampire days are over. Your vampire days are over. I'm tired of breaking my back, looking over my shoulder. I may not know what I want, but this idiot savant, this ain't his first time at the rodeo. The monster I became, no longer taking blame. conflict, the screaming, the makeup, the afterglow. Find yourself uninvited, your dramas unrequited. Bruises are hidden, but crazy always shows. Your vampire days are over. Your vampire days are over. I'm tired of breaking my back, looking over my shoulder. Your vampire days are over. Your vampire days are over. Tired of breaking my back, looking over my shoulder. Looking over my shoulder. Looking over my shoulder. Your vampire days are over. Your vampire days are over. Do you wanna hear a lie? Will it help you feel better? Does that make it alright? Do you wanna hear a lie? Does that make it okay? Will it help you sleep at night? Do you wanna hear a lie? Does it smooth things over? Will it help you twist the knife? Do you wanna hear a lie? Will that give you confidence? Does it suit your appetite? I can power through. I can soldier on. Get over you, myself, and the fact that you're gone. Do you wanna hear a lie? Does it keep your conscience clear? Will that make it justified? Do you wanna hear a lie? Does that make it okay? Will you leave here satisfied? I never look at your picture. I never wish you were the person I believe the camera captured. I always knew you were a killer. Do you wanna hear a lie? You can never get the best of me. You're not on my mind. Not even part of a compiled minor player in the movie of my life. I can power through. I can soldier on. Get over you, myself, and the fact that you're gone. And the fact that you're gone. Do you wanna hear a lie? Do you wanna hear a lie? Do you wanna hear a lie? Do you wanna? I can, and I will. From a view to a kill. Pick your switch, crack the whip. The world is my oyster, no guilt trip. I just go with the flow. I follow the yellow brick road, eyes like lights, stars at night. A mannequin disco, one-man show. A vamping velvet hammer. Not your woman, not your man. You're a palace in shambles, darling. I'm a diamond in a trash can. Subvert and control. Do the work, play the role. Celebrate, give them face. life's in shambles. Darling, I'm a diamond in a trash can. She told me we're not perfect. We all have things people might not like to see. It takes a lot of hard work, clear thinking, and good makeup to be accepted as a freak. Diamond in a trash can. 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 I spy with my black eye 1,000 ways to be true, and I die every time you say I don't believe you. A nightly dreamer in fear I hide. The body of a star that recently died is a guilt, shame, repressed memory. None of the above. The dead star's me. My dragonfly, D-I-R-T-Y. My dragonfly, my. With D-I-R-T-Y. Perfection to rejection in the blink of an eye. I spy with my black eye 1,000,000 little pieces, and I like the flashing lights as tension increases. My dragonfly, D-I-R-T-Y. My dragonfly, my. With D-I-R-T-Y. Perfection to rejection in the blink of an eye. empty train stations, the scenery and mood, all shades of gray. Wax in the cellar, broken umbrellas on the subway during a hurricane. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Feeling my heart break on stages to sweet rock of ages and wilted bouquets after the matinee. Your studies in solitude, all alone is where you'd rather be. By now that's fine by me. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay, okay, okay. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I need a little sunshine. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. We all need a little. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. When you're young, you must feel invincible. These epic dramas belong in the hallways of a high school. When you're young, you hold the torch. You stay the course like some tragic captain of colliding worlds. But you know he's wrong, and I know I'm right. You spent so long wasting time at the end of his line. The love letter is dead. You sentimental fool. When words return, they only serve as a source of ridicule. The love letter is dead. You're chasing a ghost through handwritten scriptures and pictures for which his victims have posed. The love letter is dead, and unraveled memes uncool. The observer is shattered, not someone who mattered in his world. When you're young, free will puts fingers to keys, and looks can kill, but
We're back with Gene, Dante, and the Future Starlets. Yay, after their thrilling performance, and we have some questions for them. But first, I'd like everyone to introduce themselves and tell us what you do.
I'll start, because I'm on the
Thank
end, I
you.
guess. Tamara Gooding, and I play drums in the band.
Scott P, electric guitar.
Gene Dante, lead singer and guy on the mic. Over
Is
you.
it me? Eric Anderson, rhythm guitar.
Jim Collins, bass and background vocals.
Thank you. All right, so my question that I love to ask all bands who visit us is, if you had a dream gig, and it could be an artist dead or alive, who would it be? Who would you all play with? Who do you think Gene, Dante, and the Future Starlets would play with?
Bowie.
One answer? I mean,
One
come
answer,
on,
yeah.
Everybody wants to open for Bowie,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's
right.
kind of awesome. But, you know,
Yeah.
could
I
be
should have
one of
stepped
the
it
greats.
up and said, what tour?
Oh yeah, Glass Spider tour.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
U2 Zoo TV tour.
There you go. There you go. So you have some new songs, I heard. Can you talk a little bit about those new songs and what was the inspiration
Sure.
for them?
We just played a bunch of new ones today. Hopefully this will be the first time they're on film. But we have a new record that's in the can. We've been kind of workshopping them and hammering them out live a little bit here and there, and so they would slip them in. But they're in their final versions, and John at Beach House Studio and I are mixing them right now. The inspiration's just been personal experience over time, and then we work together to finalize the arrangements and come up with parts and everything like that. But lyrically, it all comes from my life, and then you just do the what if and you multiply it by 10 to make it dramatic, right?
And when would our audience expect to hear those songs, be able to listen to them on Apple Music, Spotify?
I'm hoping that we will have the record out before fall. That's what I'm hoping. We're in a pretty good place. It just keeps getting pushed back because there's this technical issue or whatever. But we don't want to release something substandard. We have John and I have a no wincing policy in the studio where if you listen to something and you go like, then you have to fix it. You can't. It doesn't matter. Like you can't be like, well, we're on deadline, so there it goes. Like
Right.
we don't want to be apologizing for a mix or apologizing.
No disclaimers.
Right, no disclaimers. It's just play it
Yep.
and be fully proud of it.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you as a band deal with conflicts when they arise during recording? I always find that interesting because it's very stressful. As we know, recording can be calamitous sometimes. So what's your approach when something isn't going the way you want? What happens?
Well, first I scream and I stomp my feet. No, actually, these guys are. Everybody here is pretty chill. I would say I'm probably the least chill person in the group. But this one we planned out really well. At least the initial, the raw tracks, the live in studio stuff, we planned out and we booked a weekend together and we made sure we were all available. And then it's things come on the fly. And, these guys are pretty great. I mean, it's a great band, so
Yeah.
they're able to make adjustments if we need it. So we've been pretty lucky. Like we haven't had a lot of beer bottles thrown across the room
Yeah.
or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, that could still happen.
Well, everyone here has been in other bands and played out a lot and recorded a lot, right? Is that true?
I'd say
Sure.
so.
Would you tell us a little bit about your history and how you came together?
Do I have to do all the talking?
No.
Yes, you do.
Well, I mean, I was in a couple of bands before this, and I just decided I was going to write songs and not censor myself. And then when I had first decided that, I left my previous band, and Tamara and I played together in a thing called Project Eno,
yeah.
and it was just a celebration of Brian Eno's music. And she, Eddie Noack, who is now in Smitty, who was in the Bent Men as well, and we had Dark Mark White, and we had put together a core band, and we recorded a demo. And it was great, and priorities changed after a while. So then we, when we were looking for new people, Scott, who was in Missile Thrush as well, he's married to a very lovely woman who happens to be a very dear friend of mine. And dawn broke on Marblehead, and so I asked him. I gave him a demo of what we've been doing. Yeah, right. I know there's a pun in there somewhere, but and then we were looking for a bass player. Jim Collins is the best of the best, and we were lucky enough that he was able to. I know, right? But it's true. I hate to admit it. No, but Jim was available, and it seemed it was a good fit. And then as we progressed, we were a 4-piece. But then after we recorded the romantic lead, our management at the time wanted me to get off the guitar and really be on the mic more for live stuff. So Eric was an intern at Omni Rocks, which was our label and management at the time. And Eric said, "Well, why not me?" And we were like, "Okay, come on in." And so Eric really holds down the fort. A lot of what Eric plays is when I write the song and I bring it. That's the part I would have been playing. But Eric also plays keyboards as well. So it's going to add, as we progress forward, we'll get some more of that in there, and you will hear and see the wonder.
Yeah. Well, then that leaves room for a question for you. So were you inspired? Were you, I need to be in this band? Did the spirit move you?
Yeah, I mean, I was working at the label, as he said, and a lot of what I was doing while I was working there was prepping the release of the romantic lead. So through that, listening to the album, doing all that work behind the scenes, just fell in love with it, of course.
Yeah. What's not to fall in love with, right? So another question that I like to ask all of our guests is, tell us about the craziest gig you ever played, a gig where you walked in the door and you thought, oh, okay, we're playing on this bill and this is what's going to happen, and then everything just went out the door for whatever reason.
I don't know, you guys.
And you can all answer
you guys
this
take
question.
that one because I don't know. To me, there's always something.
Crazy in a good way or crazy in a bad way?
It could be either. Just something that, like, the first thing that comes to your mind.
We played a show in New York City, and
Yes, Jim. Tell this.
gotta like rush and bands do quick changeovers, and you're supposed to be quick and lively and get your equipment on, and so that all the bands can have a good time slot to play, right? And a band in front of us, something broke in their equipment, and they proceeded to just sort of noodle around for 20 minutes on stage.
Stop the show and
Yeah.
then
The
try
show
to figure it
completely
out.
stopped.
Fixed the thing, or tried to, right?
And then once they fixed it, they didn't factor in the 20 minutes they just wasted. They just kept playing their full set. So then when we got on, our set got cut short.
Oh, and you all the way to New York, which,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We remember their names.
Yeah.
We have a list.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been it, because it was mind blowing, because that's your set time. If you can't proceed, you're done. You
Right.
just move. But so it was rude of them, and also kind of bizarre for the club, which is now out of business. Anyway, what else? Is there a good crazy?
I mean, playing the Whiskey, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Whiskey A Go Go was
Yeah.
good crazy. We played there. Gosh, it's 2 years ago, I think, right? Maybe going on 3. We're overdue. We're overdue for a trip to LA. But we opened for the band Orgy, among other bands, and the place was full early in the night, which is great. This is a club. I mean, I don't care what people say. Like, LA is not open till 5 a.m. Things close early. The Strip closes early, but the
Didn't
show
the
was
Fambers
packed.
go on at 6 o'clock or
It was something like
Yeah.
that. Like the first band was on at 6. It was
That's
nuts.
a dream come true.
Right. Well, it's because then you get to enjoy your time
Right.
afterwards. Like you see a show and then you can hang out and drink and dance or
Exactly.
whatever. But it was a great show. The crowd was into it. There were people that we have a lot of friends in Los Angeles.
Yep.
A lot of transplants. Everyone happened to be in town and free that night, so they all came. Michael Epstein and Sophia Castiel,
Yeah.
Angel Wood and
Yeah.
Paul
Right.
Gallo. I mean, it was a bunch of our friends. So and the Whiskey loves us. They all were like, "This is my card. This is my card."
Their staff were so phenomenal, though.
Yeah, they
They
treat
were.
you like you are a major star there, and it's
Sounds like Mamakin. When did any of you play Mamakin back in the day?
yeah. When I was I was just a teenager
So
at the time.
I was a baby too, but that's the treatment that I felt that Mamakin gave you.
Yeah.
They treated you like rock stars.
That's kind of great,
It's nice, yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Yeah. We didn't get to meet Orgy, but that's okay. It's not.
Yeah.
That's not what
I didn't get
do
to
it
meet
for.
Steven Tyler, did you?
Never had the
There's
pleasure.
always another time for
Never
it,
had the
Chief.
pleasure.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
right.
So, any advice that you would give people who are starting out playing, young musicians in particular? That any piece of advice? I always ask people this. What would you give if you had to give one piece of advice? What would it be?
Persevere.
Yeah.
Persevere. Okay.
Enjoy the moment.
Practice and don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't let fear stop you. Also, I think as I get on to the other thing is don't take a job just for the money. Like, if you are a musician, if you're a hobbyist, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. But never stop playing. But if you want to be, you want to make a living, then get a job that's at least akin to what you do so you'll be happier. Some people get jobs just because they need a paycheck. I respect that. I 100% respect that. But if you are of a certain mindset and a paradigm like music, then you want to get in a place that has music or supports the arts or something like that, because you're going to deal with people that have absolutely zero respect for art, music, theater, literature. They say they do,
Yeah.
but they don't. And so, and while it's it's hard, but if you think that's something you love, then try to work in something that's at least parallel or akin to it.
Kind of relatable. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be a player, but there's a million jobs. For every singer, guitar player, whatever, there's 10 jobs
That's
behind or around that person that are doing very important work that make it so the person on stage can do their work.
Excellent. All right. So, when can we expect to see you playing out in the next couple of months? Can you tell us some gigs that you have coming up?
Tonight.
Tonight.
Well, April 6th, we're at the Midway Cafe. I would say is it May 17th?
Yes.
May 17th, we're at Opus in Salem, Massachusetts, the Witch City. It's
Yes.
one of our favorite places. And then in July, we're back at Kodo in Salem, Massachusetts. Again, one of my favorite city. But
Yeah.
anyway, and we'll be we're looking at hitting Portland, Maine this summer.
Oh, nice.
We're working with a venue, and we'll probably go back to the Shaskeen soon
Yeah.
as well. Manchester, New Hampshire,
Yeah.
NH represent, and and we're branching out. But
Okay.
really, my job over the next few weeks is to get this record cracking,
Yes.
and that's no more delays.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
a part of our 7th episode of
Yes.
Local Music Now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Special thanks to our guests, Gene Dante and the Future Starlets. Join us next time for
Local Music Now!